Hey everybody, thanks for checking out the video. And the video today is a redraft of the 1993 NHL Entry Draft. That was the year that Saku Koivu was drafted. He was drafted 21st. Does he move up? He does. But where does he slot in? So this is my take on how the redraft should go. It was 32 years ago, so everybody's career is over, and I think we can clearly judge uh, how the draft should have gone. This is based not solely on points, but it's based on total career and kind of what they did. And anyways, I'm gonna give you my opinions, and let me know in the comment section. Do you agree with me? You don't agree with me? I'm gonna show you right now the list of the top 16. Well, let me go right here. Now, I'm not going to read them all off because there's a lot there, but pause the video and then you can check out who was drafted and who was drafted where. And then this is the order that this is the order of the teams and how they drafted. And you'll notice that Edmonton had 2 picks in the top 16, and so did Quebec. Then we got Quebec, we got Hartford in there. They're no longer cities in the NHL, so it's very interesting. So again, pause this if you want to see exactly everything. And while you're doing that, I'm going to do this. If you want to maybe get some merch, here's my mug. This is Talking Habs logo there, and it's my Hab Normals mug, and then my Hab Normals hat. And these things are made and shipped from Canada. So if you're, you don't have to worry about that. It's a promotion we're doing this month. It's almost over. There's like 6 days left. As I'm filming this, get a free for your daily fix of Blue Blanc Rouge mug with every purchase of $100 or more. Just go to that link that's down there on the bottom of that overlay, and it's on the bottom of the screen as well. You just put stuff in your cart. As soon as your cart hits $100, that mug will automatically be added, and it is free. So check that out, and there's all kinds of stuff there. So check out the store. And let me know what you think about it, and get a free mug. Free mugs are always good. All right, so there were 11 rounds back in 1993. There were 26 teams in the league at the time. Like I said, 11 rounds. There were some gems found in the later rounds, as you'll see. And like I said, I did this not just by points. These are by career. Some guys played less games than others. Some guys had less points than others, but they had other things. And I think you'll agree. But let me know in the comment section once I go through all these. We're going to start from 16, work our way up to 1. And let me know what you think, if you agree, disagree, and that kind of stuff. So let's start with number 16. If you looked at the list, I took it off here, so I don't remember who was on there. But this is who I think should have been drafted at number 16, and that is, let's go over here, Rob Niedermayer. Rob Niedermayer was a center. He was drafted 5th, so he dropped. He played 1,153 games, 186 goals, 283 assists, 469 goals, 904 penalty minutes. He was drafted by Florida originally, and here he is going to be drafted by Edmonton. He is not Scott Niedermayer. Scott Niedermayer, his brother, was a defenseman. Great. He would have been obviously drafted higher, and I believe Niedermayer was first overall, I think, when he was drafted, and probably deservedly so in that draft. Now, Rob was like, he was like a middle 6 guy, probably more like a bottom 6 guy, but I think middle 6, and he played a lot of seasons, and he had a good career. And I have him at 16. At 15, I got Chris Gratton. Now, Chris Gratton was a center, 3rd overall. He went 3rd overall to Tampa, and played 1,092 games, 214 goals, 354 assists, 568 points, 1,638 penalty minutes, and like I said, drafted by Tampa. If he had more points, he would have gone higher. Look at those penalty minutes. He was a rough tough kind of guy. But I've got him at 15. Again, let me know what you think in the comment section. Next up at 14, I have Brian McCabe going to Quebec. Brian McCabe, a defenseman. He was drafted 40th, so he definitely moves up. The first one so far moved up. 1,135 games, 145 goals, 383 assists, 528 points, and 1,732 assists. Drafted by the Islanders for some reason, and I don't know if it's recent because there's a McCabe playing now. I have him in my memory for Toronto, but it could be the Islanders. He was, as I remember, a tough defenseman. And look at all those penalty minutes. Plus, he can kill you with a goal or setting up a goal. I didn't like Brian McCabe, and I don't really like the McCabe now. And it can't be the same guy because it's 32 years later. At 13, lucky 13, we have Victor Kozlov, a center who went 6th overall and played 897 games, 198 points, 339 assists, 537 198 points. I said, hey, it's goals, 339 assists, 537 points. San Jose drafted him. He would have gone here to the New Jersey Devils. I'm looking at it. He might have gone higher. He only played 897 games and got 537 points. But this is where I have him. I remember him, but I don't have strong memory. He was a good player. That's what I remember for San Jose. That's how I have him in my memory. Next up at number 12 is Brendan Morrison, a center drafted 39th, and he was drafted by the Devils. Here he would have been drafted by Toronto. 934 games played, 200 goals, 401 assists for 601 points. Now, I remember the guy, like you tell me the name. Oh, yeah, I remember the guy, but not really clear memories of him. But he was a decent player, there's no doubt. And he went 12th. He definitely moved up just by numbers and games played and all. He definitely moved up. And let me know what you think of where he should be in your list if you were doing this redraft. All right, moving up to number 11, you got Kimmo Timonen. And Alex he's our Flyers fan on Don't Puck with Media and Flyer podcast. He told me he thought Timonen should have been moved up 3 spots about. So because Timonen played, I guess, in Philly. I'm not sure why. He was a gem, drafted 250th by LA. And then here he would have gone to Washington, but that's a gem, 250th, and he is in this list at number 11. So 1,108 games played, 117 goals, 454 assists, 571 points, and 654 penalty minutes. By the way, when I don't have penalty minutes for a guy because they were under 500, so I didn't put them for whatever reason. Like I said, he was drafted by LA. Timonen, another one. I remember him, but not like clearly. But I do remember. He put up good points for a defenseman, and he was good. I always remember him being a quality defenseman, and that's all I got. But he would have gone to Washington at number 11, in my opinion. But definitely a gem, finding him at 250th. Next, we got number 10, and that is Quebec made this, would have gotten this guy. He was originally drafted by Dallas. That is too long a name to put the whole name. Jamie Langenbrunner, who I remember well as a good, solid player. This was a good winger. He could hurt you. He was drafted 35th. He moves up to 10th. 1,109 games played, 243 goals, 420 assists, which I love that number, 663 points, 837 penalty minutes. So he wasn't, a soft player. And like I said, drafted originally by Dallas. I kind of only remember him there. I don't know. I don't think he played his whole career there, but I remember him as a Dallas Star. and a solid player that scored a lot of goals against Montreal that I saw. Like I saw him many times score against us. So, and I might have even taken him in some fantasy pools back in the day. I just can't remember. Moving up to number 9 and filling up this page, we have Andrew Brunette, a left winger drafted by Washington, and here he would have gone to Dallas. 174th, so another gem. He was drafted at 174th, moves up to number 9. 1,110 games played, 268 goals, 465 assists, 733 points. I don't remember specifics about Brunette, but he's one of those players too. I just remember him scoring against us numerous times or being involved in that kind of play. And I don't know what team I specifically remember him being a part of. I guess it's Washington, but it doesn't hit me off the top of my head. But like I said, here he would have gone to Dallas, and who knows what would have happened. But definitely a gem, drafted 174th. Next up is number 8. We start a new page, and we got Vinny Prospel, and that is where Alex thought Timonen should have gone. Prospel here would have gone to the Rangers. He was drafted by the Flyers. I'm trying to remember. I don't remember him necessarily as a Flyer, and I think he moved around a little bit. A left wing, drafted 71st overall, so he moved up as well. Played 1,108 games, 255 goals, 510 assists, 765 points, 581 penalty minutes. So, not soft, not too physical or dirty. Yeah, listen, Prospel was a really good winger. He could hurt you. I drafted him a couple of times into fantasy pools, and he was a pretty good point getter. He was it was over a half a point a game. He wasn't a point a game, but he was solid, and he was he could hurt you. That's all I remember about him. How's that? And I loved his name, Prospel, so I always remember Vinny. And I think at the time, my cousin Vinny might have been out. So Vinny Prospel, kind of a gem moving up from 71st. All right, number 7, we got Todd Bertuzzi. And I believe what's his name, the Bertuzzi now? That's his uncle, I do believe. Maybe his father. I'm not sure. Bertuzzi was drafted by the Islanders. Here he would have gone to Edmonton, a right wing. Drafted 23rd overall, so he moved up into 7th, and 1,159 games, 314 goals, 464 assists, 770 points, and that 1,478 penalty minutes, because Todd Bertuzzi was a son of a bitch to play against, but he could also play the game. Look at the points totals, but he was tough, physical, he'd hurt you, he was mean, and he was talented, and I never liked Todd Bertuzzi. That I can tell you for sure. I never liked that guy. All right, we're at number 6 now, and there we get to the devil. A little bit of the devil now. Miroslav Shatan. I think that's how it's pronounced, but we always just said Satan, obviously. He was drafted by Edmonton. I sort of remember him as Edmonton, but I don't remember him there. I'm trying to think of the name. I think the Devils. Didn't he go to the Devils? And he was, I remember Satan appropriately as a New Jersey Devil. He would have been drafted here by the Sharks. Left wing, 111th overall is how he was drafted. So another one of the gems that in the draft. 1,056 games, 363 goals, 372 assists. Very steady guy. 735 points. No penalty minutes, which means he was under that. So for a Satan, he wasn't that mean a guy. Like, he didn't get a lot of penalties. Very good hockey player, Satan. I don't know all of his attributes. I just know that he scored a lot of goals, a good playmaker. And, he always made an impact when the Devils were in town or you were in New Jersey. So, yeah, and I'm sure I had him in a fantasy pool many times. We used to make fun of his name. That's for sure. And Miroslav Shatan, another one of the gems in this draft. There were some good scouts, man. There were some good scouts that found some really solid players late in the draft, which happens every year. I mean, there's always good players in the later rounds. Is not that there's a ton. There were some rounds that I didn't pull anybody out of, but there were some surprises where they were drafted, is what I will say. So Miroslav Shatan. Next up, we're at number 5. And that goes to Pavel Dimitra. And I want to say rest in peace because I believe he was killed in a plane crash in Russia. I'm not sure if I got the right guy, but I think so. Another gem in this draft. He was a center drafted by Ottawa. I remember him with St. Louis, though. 227th, he was drafted. So this guy was drafted very late, and he was good. Only played 847 games, but 304 goals, 464 assists for 768 points. Not that far off of a point a game. And Dimitra was a very skilled player. I just remember, good skater. He hurt us a lot of times. And I had him at least once in fantasy pools back then. And if you go back then, we didn't have computers to do fantasy pools back then. I used to run them every year where I worked, and we did that all by hand. It was a lot of work, but it was a lot of fun too. But yeah, Pavel Dimitra. And like I said, if he's the guy I think he is, rest in peace. Next up at number 4 for Habs fans, you're going to like this one. Saku Koivu. Saku Koivu, a center. Obviously, we know that. Drafted 21st overall. So he moved up. He was drafted by Montreal. I remember when he was drafted. I remember hearing the name and go, who? Oh, man, it's a European player. Seriously, that's what we thought. Who's this European guy? So he would have gone here to Anaheim, which is kind of appropriate because he ended his career in Anaheim. 1,124 games by Koivu, 255 goals, 577 assists for 832 big points. He also had 809 penalty minutes. And why? Koivu was crazy when he first started. He hit everything. So he was kind of physical, even though he wasn't the biggest guy, but he was very physical, energy. What can you say about Koivu? A leader you would run through a brick wall for, mega talented. The knee, he very early in his career, I believe it was Jim Cummins, took his knee out in a game where 2 Habs players got taken out like that. Koivu was one. He was never really the same. He was leading the league in points at the time. And this kid had promise up the wazoo. And that knee injury would be the thing that held him back in points because he would have, in my opinion, been a point a game plus player if he would have continued on that trend. Let me know in the comments if you agree with me. If you're an old fart like me and, saw all that, let me know. And let me know if you remember that game where his knee got taken out. Was not a happy game to watch. And then, he had the cancer, the lymph nodes cancer, and all kinds of stuff. And he persevered through that. One hell of a man, this Saku Koivu is. And it shares with Beliveau the longest serving captain, which I think Nick Suzuki might challenge as well. All right, enough just drooling over Saku Koivu, or glazing, as the young people would say, over Koivu. All right, next up is number 3. Chris Pronger. Chris Pronger, the big, tough defenseman that you did not want to have to run into. Drafted by Hartford originally. Here he would go to Tampa Bay. He was 2nd overall, so he drops just 1. 1,167 games, 157 goals, 541 assists, 698 points, but 1,590 penalty minutes. And listen, Chris Pronger, the points aren't there compared to some of the other people, but I mean, he was a great player. So not my favorite guy. I didn't like Chris Pronger, but man, he did his job. He was mean, he was physical, he was tough, and you didn't want to play against him if you didn't have to. Moving up to number 2, and Jason Arnott. Jason Arnott, center, drafted originally by Dallas. Here he would have gone to Hartford. Wonder what he would look like in Hartford. I think at the time with Pat Verbeek, and I'm trying to think who else, Ron Francis maybe. 1,244 games, drafted at 7th, so he moves up to 2nd. 417 goals, 521 assists, 938 points, 1,242 assists, and penalty minutes. And I'm going to tell you, I didn't think that I don't remember him as being that tough or getting a lot of penalties. Drafted by Dallas originally. I remember him in Dallas, and I remember him. I'm trying to think of the other team I remember him. He played for a few teams, I want to say. I should have done that research doing this video, but I didn't. But Jason Arnott was a good, a great, maybe. I think he was kind of underrated when you think about him. Just look at his numbers and the career he had. He had a great career, great player, and I remember him, but I can't go over any specifics on him other than what I went. Now, if you know this draft, you know who's missing here and who's going to be in number 1, and I'm going to get to that in a second, even though you're not going to see this, but I got to pause for a second. All right, we're at number 1, as I just teased. Who do you think it is? I'm going to show you before you can answer me or I'd see it. But number 1, and I think deservedly so, and that is Paul Kariya. Paul Kariya, whose career was shortened by Scott Stevens in that horrible, horrible, horrible open ice hit that today would have got him suspended, Stevens. I don't remember if he got suspended then. I really don't, but he should have gone. But, back then, those kind of hits were acceptable more than they are today. Anyway, Paul Kariya, drafted originally by Anaheim, as we all know him as an Anaheim Mighty Duck, would have gone to Ottawa, which would have been really weird, Ottawa having Paul Kariya. He was a left wing, drafted 4th overall. So he obviously moved up, played 989 games, 11 games shy of 1,000. Should have played probably many more. 402 goals, 587 assists for 989 points. Exactly a point a game in a career. You know what? Not a point a game after that many games, no matter who you are, is a hell of a thing. So, and he, like I said, a career shortened by Scott Stevens' hit. Just horrible. But let me know what you think about all this. I'm going to show you now. Here are all the guys that were drafted. Oh, I got the wrong one. So I'm going to go back here. While we're talking, I'm going to get the one where I have everybody listed. I hope I put it there. Let me go get that. I'm going to cancel that. And we're back, and I don't want to have to edit. So I'm not going to edit that out. You're going to see that. But here is the draft order. If you want to read it all, just give a pause. Check it out. Let me know what you think. Do you agree with the guys? And not only, you might have all the same guys, but you might not have them in the same order. So let me know in the comments how you would have them, and if there's anybody that I missed, that you think that I missed and should have been in this video. All righty. So that's it. I don't have much else to say on this. I think I rambled long enough. So thanks for watching the video. This is going to go to the members only for about 5 days before it gets to everybody else. You let me know what you think. I hope you enjoyed it. Give a thumbs up if you do. Subscribe if you haven't already. And hey, maybe get yourself a Talking Habs mug. You can get a free one if you go to the link down there and make $100 or more order. You get this one mug like this free. So check that out, and thanks for watching. See you next time. Till then, stay safe, peace out, and have a great day whenever you're watching this, and just be good. Ciao, everybody.